Hello, Recreate7 and welcome back to Commission Black Sea. We're continuing our head-to-head against Chap, and this is going to be turn 3. So let's see if things start blowing up. We'll do our usual of watching the replay, and then we'll spend a bit of time if there's anything particularly interesting of note. It looks like somebody is area firing somewhere, so let's check what that's about. Unless it's happening just off screen below us, but we'll go back and double check. Looks like our troops have made it out to the far corner unmolested. Looks like he's finally moving in on that victory point with one of his Bradleys. Now we do have got a couple of Javelin teams in the vicinity. Oh, looks like he's bringing infantry over to the victory point. Interesting. Okay. Potentially a Bradley in here as well. Alright. I'm going to jump back to start just because I wanted to see, double check if there was any noise down here. I mean, it may well be our car here getting annihilated. Oh, just some area fire. I wonder what this is about. I'm not sure. Okay. Other than that, our harassing mission still seems to fall in these woods, which is good because it'll impact his troops if he decides to move through there. But he has moved into the line of VP with one of his Bradleys. We'll have to deal with that. We've got reasonable eyes, but I don't think we've got anyone with a Javelin all the way down here. Which is fine. We know where it is. We can always come and deal with it. We'd even drop some 155 on its head if we wanted to. In fact, he's bringing in a couple more infantry support now. So I'm tempted maybe just use a little bit of our spare 105 tube, drop some rounds in his head, just convince him it's a bad place to be. And as expected, it looks like he's pushing some flanking forces around this way, and we've got our TRP there to deal with that. More interesting is this push here. Looks like he's fairly aggressively moving out with some kind of infantry element, and could conceivably quite successfully get into these hedges there. Now, slightly disappointingly is that our sniper team over here hasn't spotted them, although maybe they're going to. Not sure who's got this this partial. Right, let's jump into the command phase. Let's quick look at your target lines. Yeah, they are using this kind of slight dip in the lands to get as close as they can. Just fair enough, but we'll see when they pop up. The other thing we do is probably have our Bradleys in position to start and potentially area fire. One thing I'm going to do is get our people in these Bradleys to give themselves a Javelin. And then to bug out. In fact, why don't you take an extra ammo, and then I'd like you, once your team's in place, to get out into this wood line. So if the vehicle blows up, you don't. Now the question we've got to decide is, do we want to conduct some area fire? You know, we could quite easily come along here, just in the target light, and just start trying to shoot up these trees. Although I'm having some issues with action square malarkey. And again, just with a view of it, but you're going to fire beyond it. And maybe potentially inflict some guys. It will give away the fact that we're here. I'm not sure that's maybe a bad thing. He probably knows we're here anyway. And then maybe buys time to get our second Bradley over into these trees. Do you know what? Let's do it. I feel like I'm being particularly passive. Let's be less passive. So I'm going to grab your movement point here, and I'm going to give you a target light order somewhere in here, like something like that. And hopefully that will upset them. Meanwhile, I'm going to grab this Bradley, and we are going to scoot ourselves off in a little bit more of an aggressive fashion to try and get ourselves in amongst this point. I'm going to park myself essentially into here, and then we're going to get the lads out. And then we'll kind of go from there. Again, grab your ATGM, grab your second Javelin. I didn't mean to grab all two of them. That's a lot of missiles for you to be carrying, but hey ho, you've got it now. And then get into these woods. Beautiful. We'll start contest that, and hopefully our sniper will pick them up from the side and maybe get a shot. Good. Right, other things we do want to move. So obviously he's been, I don't know, trying to block off this element here. Not sure what he's doing, but anyway, I'll not worry too much about it. I want to get these guys up onto the ridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you fairly quickly, again using Deflade in our own, to our own advantage here. Let's kind of jog up to this point. And maybe just walk yourselves up, and then potentially just kind of crawl the last little bit. Maybe a hunt's better. Just do a hunt. Even that's maybe not quite far enough up the point. I suspect what's going to happen, we'll go all the way up here, is that at some point we'll spot something. It can happen here where you spot it at head height, and then they kind of go to ground because they spotted something, and then they lose the contact. But we'll keep an eye on that. If nothing else, that's a reasonable set of orders to kind of come forward and see what's going on there. Okay, we've got a Bradley, which is probably one firing things. We've still got a little bit of a watch here. That's fine. I'll keep them there. Again, we're not massively defending this position. We do have to watch if they did a big push around this way that we don't end up flanked. Do you have AT capability? You do not. So really our predominant AT capability is here. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, things that I would like to do. Where's my UAV man? You're here. I know you are moving slightly over. We'll continue just that. I probably might move it around here next time. But we are on a short map, so let's start using some of our 105s. And let's drop something on his head here. Just like that. Do you want to move over slightly? I might move over ever so slightly. Don't click there one, come on. Yeah, just something like that. Ideally, impact this guy, potentially impact the infantry that's coming to support. We're just going to go for a heavy, but a short bombardment. General's fine, immediate go. 3 minutes, might be late, we might have to cancel it. That's a little bit, we'll see how it goes. Fantabuloso, you didn't make any more spots to your friends down that side. But I would like you to potentially keep looking. So we're going to come all the way back here, and we're going to do a little bit of kind of hunting forward into kind of this position. I don't think you're going to pick anything up, but that's okay. I'm tempted to keep you where you are, because you should have reasonable sight lines. Not like huge swathes, but you've got a little something to see if he does cut back. Otherwise I might open up a little bit of manoeuvre for our Bradley here. And for this chap to try and start actually making moves on these minor victory points. Although I'm aware chap will have a TRP somewhere, and it may well be waiting for me to take these positions before dumping a whole bunch of stuff on my head. Okay. But that's good. Otherwise, I'm relatively happy with what's going on. Yeah. I think we're going to wait to see if we get any more movement over here before we make any big reactions. I'm slightly... kind of all my IFEs are staying at this direction, which isn't necessarily where they're going to come from. I don't get the feeling he's just going to drive in front of me. Perhaps we want to start making a few more moves. To where and to when. Because I think the better push actually is sending this IFE with some support up to kind of start taking these Wotokoro, you know, where you can come in with your flank protected by this building, get some sight lines on there, we might pick a fight, although obviously infantry and tree lines are more than likely going to get the spot first. We are slowly moving ourselves forward. You're not actually in the building, you're just chilling near the building. I understand. at some point. We're just going to have to kind of go for it. Let's get you moving forward, I think. We'll get you guys to support. I think it feels like the main is thrust is round to the side, but we'll have to see. Alright, I will probably go around and just finesse the rest of my movement elements. But the thing I've got to appreciate is, or I suspect he's going to have a drone somewhere as well. So some of this is going to be very visible to exactly where I am. So I don't want to be too static. I want to be a little bit mobile. One thing, we can always shift you around actually. That might be an interesting opportunity to maybe try and blunt some of these attacks here. If we're not going to push you this way. Okay, I'll go plunder. I think I'm not going to deploy him just yet. I'm going to finesse some of these moves going forward, but I'm not seeing any major pushes into Wit Toro just yet. Let's get my machine gun in set up. I don't think he's going to do much if he stumbles across Bradley, but at least we'll give us some eyes. Apart from that, I think we're good to go. Alright, enough jibber jabbering. We'll leave it there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.